Yo guys and gals, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Attack on Titan Season 2, officially episode 31. This episode was the moment where it's all revealed who the Colossal and the Armored Titans are. It was pretty powerful stuff at the end, just Eren also going in and turning into his Titan form while also blowing up the Armored Titan's arm. That sequence, it was ultimately a very exciting episode in those last few moments. Now, what I'm actually really excited with this episode is the build up to the last few moments. On a technical level, I think this episode was excellent in terms of how it set this up, because it kind of followed the way the manga did it, if I recall. It's just I think the anime did a much better job at expressing the complex emotions that were going on in this particular episode. Now, I'm a manga reader. I don't particularly care about the reveal because I already knew it was coming. But that part is just not that exciting for me. The moment that the two turn into the enemy Titans, what I actually really enjoyed, like I said before, is the technical aspects of the episode and the sequence in which things happened in this episode. Because I think it was great. It was great. The standout scene for me, and now I'm going to break this down why this was so good. The standout scene for me is as everyone's walking away and we have that long panning shot of the people on the tower, and Reiner and Bertolt and Eren are just slightly moving out of frame, and Reiner is just saying, "Hey, I'm the Armored, he's the Colossal. Let's just finish things up here. Let's just come back with us and we'll be good to go." And just the delivery on that line is just it's so awkward, but it makes sense in all of it. And so that's where we start up, right? We see everyone walking away. Mikasa notices Eren's staying back, and she just stops a little bit. And Eren's just listening to Reiner and Bertolt just talk to him about this. Or sorry, just Reiner talk to him. And that's where the episode starts to get really good, because at that point, we start retroactively filling in the gaps. We start getting the information from Hanj that Bertolt and Reiner were under suspicion because of things going on, and then Armin starts filling in the blanks of the Annie situation. And I think this was also really good. The narrative was really good at reminding us of a really important point, because right before this whole thing went down, Reiner is talking about this is the second time he's been attacked by a Titan. He had got his arm chewed on by this Titan, and he's talking and reminds Armin about the time with Annie. So the moment that they did that, they were reminding the watchers that, hey, this happened before. This was actually a thing that happened, and it's relevant because this is going to be a plot point that's going to be addressed later in the episode. So that's a very kind thing of the anime to do, just to remind viewers this is going to be a relevant moment, because that moment ends up being a pretty pivotal moment when it comes to narrowing down suspicions on Reiner and Bertolt. Now, as we continue with the sequence with Eren and them, in the manga, it was just kind of harder to kind of gauge what was going on, what people were feeling, and even in this one, I was slightly surprised that Eren wasn't just going off of his usual anti-Titan rhetoric and just exploded on them the moment that they said that. Instead, we see that he's more hesitant and he's calm, and he's just kind of talking to them "Hey man, you're just tired." And Bertolt's yeah, he's tired. And then when we get the flashback, when we get the retroactive flashback, it makes sense now. Eren doesn't want to believe that Reiner is capable of that. He doesn't want to believe that Reiner is not the big brother figure that they had. So, it makes sense why in that awkward delivery, Eren stayed as calm as he possibly could have and just made it way more awkward. So again, really good execution there. And I just love how at the point that we get all that fill in, that we get the flashbacks, that we get all the suspicions that are being levied against those two guys, I like how we go back to Mikasa and we see the full picture of what's going on. She didn't just stop. She's ready to slash at people, and we know she did that. My God, when Mikasa went in, that was excellent to watch. Another big player in all of this is Reiner. He's the one that's instigating this very awkward sequence, and it makes sense why Reiner's been kind of getting this angle applied to him, where it seems like the stress is getting to him. When you see Reiner and he's just talking so normally, and then when he realizes that this isn't working, and the way he breaks down, I thought that was great. It's stress. He is he has some kind of stress disorder. He's traumatized. He almost died because that Titan biting on his arm was definitely something that just threw him over the edge. The poor man is just at a point where he doesn't know what he's doing anymore. And it just adds to that scene, just the awkwardness and just the offbeat pacing of that scene. It is so good. In this, we get a little bit of Bertholdt, well, but he's trying to damage control, and it just shows that Bertholdt, whatever, he's just doing him. He's just trying to preserve his own life. He's trying to preserve his chances, but Reiner is really the one who takes it home with all this, because like the poor man, you can see it in his face, from his delivery to his realization afterward and to just a giant transformation. The guy's suffering. Eren's also another big part of what makes the scene work so well, because Eren's actively just trying to not believe that Reiner is actually the Titan that they are after. So, when he transforms at the end and just calls him a traitor, that's the Eren that I was honestly expecting to see the moment that Reiner said he was an armored Titan. But because there was so much weight going on in this, because we got the flashback to fill in why Eren's being so uncharacteristically calm, it's just a very excellent sequence of events. And I really appreciate the episode on a technical aspect for calling back to all the important details as we were going forward. Because in the episode, we did see that the Annie situation with Reiner writing things and him trying to deduce what actually happened and trying to deduce Reiner's motives, that whole sequence took up quite a bit of the episode. And again, I appreciate that the episode premised that sequence with them saying, or with having Reiner tell Armin or remind Armin about the time that he got caught with the female Titan. Overall, a very, very strong episode when it comes to the narrative. I really enjoyed it. What else can I talk about the episode though? Not really much, right? Because it was the Reiner discussion, then it was the Hange flashback and discussion, then it was the Armin explanation, then we go back to the Reiner thing where he starts breaking down, then we have just the action coming from Mikasa as she's trying to slash people apart. They grab Eren, they grab Ymir. Overall, because we spent so much time on some sequences, it's pretty easy to talk about this episode. But again, in terms of the technicality of the episode, and this is even talking about the animation, because we all know Attack on Titan always looks good in the arts department. Animation, it was really on point when Mikasa started doing things. But in terms of technicality and story beats and how just everything flowed, this might be one of my favorite episodes of Attack on Titan, just because I love the execution here. They could have been really dramatic about all this and really actually melodramatic, but no, they weren't. They were just like flat, fact of the matter, just like, hey, this is who we are, accept us, and let's just go home. I'm tired. Okay, that's pretty much what Reiner was saying. He was tired. He just wanted to go home. He was done. He didn't want to meet people like this. He didn't want to become their friends, but he did, and now he's paying the price. He's so confused. He just wants to go home. The poor boy. But yeah, overall, I really love this episode. I think it might be one of my favorite episodes. It probably is one of my favorite episodes. But yeah, you guys, what did you think about the episode? Did you think it is as good as I feel about it? Did you enjoy that much? Did you think it just dragged on a bit too much with all the retroactive flashbacks? Let me know down below, and let me know just in general if you thought this was a pretty cool reveal. Let me know if you didn't think that those two were the particular Titans in question. And yeah, guys, what a great episode. But yeah, till next time, I hope you have a very great day.